Hi there, and welcome back to the channel. So, I'm pretty excited that I have that last song in the can. You know, it may not be completely done. I could come up with a new guitar part, a new vocal part, who knows. The beauty of all this is you can go back and change things, and, you know, I did that with the song Hell Yes. I added a bunch of new stuff. And hopefully this evening, it's Halloween. Hopefully this finds you having a great Halloween, celebration. Family time or whatever it is, fun stuff. We've been watching movies and TV shows, and I think my favorite Halloween movie is still Fright Night, but we watched a bunch of them. Alright, so what I've decided to do is I had 9 songs, right? That was my 9th song since I've started recording sort of for this cycle, and I just dumped 4 of the tunes, and I went back and listened to some of them again just to make sure. And I'm still adamant that I don't want them. I don't know why. I just got off on a weird track, and all of the songs just don't feel good to me now. And the direction I've taken now is more of a riff-based, writing approach. So I have kind of that going right now with this record. And even the 2 songs that I'd recorded before all this started that I thought were really good songs, I still like them as songs, but they don't sound the same as the stuff I'm doing right now, which is interesting. So I'm going to try to mix and master it more towards the way the new material's sounding. But I still think they fit in on the record. So I've only got 5 songs, all this recording, and I've only got half a record. But the album might be like 8 to 9 songs, so it could be like 3 to 4 more songs, who knows. Whatever, when it feels finished, like the idea. I like songs like 9-song albums, but mainly for fidelity purposes. The shorter the album is, the better, for vinyl. I don't know if any of you press vinyl, but the shorter the record, the better fidelity, because the size of the grooves. If you're in 33 1/3, the grooves are actually pretty small, and you only really have, ideally, on a 33 1/3 record, you don't want to put much more than literally 10 to 15 minutes. 15 minutes, would be and so you have a 30-minute record if you have 15 minutes per side. So that's not that many songs. That would be 5 3-minute songs on each side. Unless my math is even stupider than usual. Okay, so and it gets even worse if you go to 45 RPM. Then you have to have double album, but that's the best fidelity, the bigger groove. All right, so what I want to do is I have another song right after the last one I did that I'm trying to get finished. I have a 3rd part going, and usually I'll just leave some gap between. Lately I've been leaving big gaps between the videos, and I want to put this in another gear. For starters, I got to write 3 to 4 to 5 more tunes. Actually, I got 1, so I need to write like 3 more. Let's just say 3. That'll make it bearable. If I can I used to always write songs in 3s anyway. So if I can just picture writing 3 more songs after I've finished the bridge on this one, once I come up with a 3rd part, I'll have that song done. Then I've just got to come up with 3, I think, to make the record. Or 2 with one being a really long song, like a long guitar solo or something. That would take up time. But it's not about taking up time, it's about making the record work, and you'll know when it's there. And I've got my Flying V out, hoping that that'll jar something and make me play differently, so that something will pop out. Getting other guitars out, just trying to get inspiration. This guitar here was the one that was used on this song, and this guitar needs to be worked on. It's just a poor old thing. I got it at a pawn shop, and the bridge is just cranked down. I can't get it. The screws are all stripped, so it's not staying in tune well when I use the whammy bar, and I hate the way the electronics sound. But I got usable sound out of it. It's very different from my other Strat that has Lawler pickups in it. Sounds very different, but that's the goal today, is to try to mix and master this into something that sounds similar to what I'm doing now, so that the tracks fit in. Okay, and I've also got a stereo thing going. This doesn't sound great. This one actually sounds better, but this one gets way louder, has way more power. But it's just sort of, bleh, sounds like a PA speaker. Doesn't have much refinement. This one is coaxial, has a little more bass and treble response. Okay, so if you've never seen any of these videos, what I do when I mix and master is I always put it in mastering mode for starters, even when I'm playing back. Like if I'm playing back for the YouTube audience out there, or just, if I'm playing it back for myself, I'm going to use the mastering mode just to get the best possible potential tone. And let me show you how to do that. So for starters, before we get started on anything, if you're doing a mastering project at home, first thing you want to do is pull the red fader down. Just bring that baby down all the way, because you could blow things up otherwise. It gets way louder in mastering mode. Alright, so I'm going to go to Effect. I'm going to go to Mastering on the algorithm. The patch, 00 plus alpha. But you can pick any one that you want. And especially if you're doing live recordings, like if you're recording your band live or recording a band live, and you got like a 2-mic setup or whatever you got going, try it and try the playback in the live setting. It works for some reason. But I'm going to just stick with this first patch, because you can manipulate any of them, but I think this one's pretty well rounded. I always find that the first thing that's in these zooms, in the zoom, is usually pretty good. It's like a standard thing that will usually work pretty well. Less experimental than some of the other ones where you get weirder things going on. Things that are more distinctive. I like something kind of neutral. Alright, so the input screen, make sure that says master. And then you're going to go to edit. I'm going to hit edit, 3-band EQ. I'm going to leave the low and the high at 50 Hertz, but I'm going to take my high to 5, my mid to 5, down from 6, and my low down from 10 to 5. The high, mid, low thing, I'm going to also make those 5. So we got high, mid, low, 5. Okay, normalizer, gain's going to be 2. Gain's going to be 0. I don't need a normalizer. And then we have the 3-band EQ. Let's just, sometimes I'll leave that at 202 just for a minute, but let's just push everything to 555. I find that for whatever reason that works well. Dimension off. Don't need it. Patch level. Let's take that. We'll leave that at 24, but you can play with that, especially if you're doing something live. You might want to go down 1 or 2 or up 1 or 2. ZNR off. I don't like noise reduction. I never liked Dolby or any of that stuff. Okay, so I'm going to exit out of there and keep my fader down. I'm going to take off all of the tracks on the first row and on the second row. That's what I call them anyway. The third row is 17 through 24, and that's our drums. And I'm going to just start with one drum at a time. And the goal, like I said, is going to be to get this to sound similar to what the newer songs are sounding like. And the other thing that I want to do is go back and rethink. I used to put reverb and chorus on pretty much everything. I don't know why. Just, it was there. And I did it on drums. And I am going to, right now, there's 30-30. Each drum has a 30-30, a reverb send 30, chorus send 30. If you go to Pan EQ, that's where that is located. And I'm starting to rethink that. I'm starting to, because none of the new stuff has that. And this room has plenty of natural reverb, if you want to call it that. It's more like gnarly room tone. But I'm going to try to pull that back and just get a more natural. That might be the difference in my drums right now, is they just don't have the reverb and chorus on it. I'm getting better at recording each time I make a track, unless something kind of goes weird. It's getting progressively better. And so these drums probably just don't sound as good, but let's try that. Let's try removing the reverb and the chorus, but we'll start with the first snare. All right, so the song will come in a second, hopefully, unless I forgot to turn on the, yeah, I forgot to turn that one on. Yeah, they're on. That's the first snare. I'm going to take it off. Okay, it's off now. I'm going to add the next snare. Left overhead. And I'm taking the chorus and the reverb off. right off the bat, the snare sounds a little up, so I'm going to start adding bass. But let's just bring all the drums in next. Ooh, this is a little hot on my ears. Need to bring things down and watch the ears. Here's the right overhead, left overhead, right bass drum, bass drum. Okay, I'm noticing on Pan EQ, I've got the high on 5 at each one of these. I've removed chorus and reverb. Now I'm going to take the high to 0. Probably leave the low up and the mid for now up, but I'm going to pull the high out just to try to get rid of some of that crack, that sound. Okay, so drums. I dialed out a lot of highs. I dialed out the reverb and chorus, and it's almost making me want to go back in and go get the drums again because I must have high passed. Them all the way to 100, which made me lose some of the low end ass of the bass drum. That could happen. Let's just see what happens with kind of a mix here. I might bring, let's see, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I bet it's the 10th track I recorded because I usually have 2 guide tracks, and then the first, I'm sorry, it would be the 5th track that I record. I record the first 2, then the 3 drums. It'd be the 6th track. So I could go in and find that and redo that. That's a potential thing to do to get some of that deep bass back. But let's bring in everything real quick. I'm going to bring the drums down to a little lower level because, man, this thing is hot. The recording is hot. There's a lot of energy on it. It's good. Acoustic guitar. putting more bass in the guitar and taking out all reverb and chorus. You might notice that this is the tune I used on the intro and the outro of the YouTube channel. So like when it starts, it's that, and then at the end, the you know, the fade out of the cymbal crash. Okay, so I'm thinking not on camera, but off camera, I'm going to go in and maybe pull those drums back in so that they're not so. It just feels like there's not enough bass, like the whole thing is running kind of chainsaw. Let's see if we can get the guitars in better balance, and I'll get everything sounding as good as it can for right now, and then all I'm going to do is probably switch out the drum tracks, and not switch them out, but just go back to the originals and redo it with the knowledge that I have now, which is to do less, not so much high pass. Maybe just cut it off at 20 so we don't lose the, I think I cut these off at 100. So that was the advice I was reading online, and later I kind of figured it out myself. You know, you don't want to cut it down so far. So, but it could be that I just didn't record it with as much bass. You know, I've been learning a lot. This song was recorded a while ago, up to like 2 years ago. Wow, that's crazy. It can't be 2 years. Probably like a year and a half ago. All right. No, it can't be 2 years. I only had the channel. I don't know. It's on the channel somewhere. Anyway, let's just see what happens now when I work on. I'm going to take the vocals out so I can just focus on the guitars and the rest of the instrumentation. Okay, now I'm going to bring the vocals in. Wait, let's just listen to the vocals on their own just to see how that's sounding. And I think I've taken all the junk off of them. Let me make sure. I'm in Panny Q. Okay, yeah, let me take... I'm going to take the chorus and the reverb off.
Are you ready for life? Are you ready for pain? Are you ready for love? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready?
Taking that chorus off and the reverb. It's drier now. Let's see if that makes, just take some of the BS off.
Turn on the bass drum and the...
That was an old, that must have been me recording the YouTube channel on this track. That's crazy. Okay, wait. Okay, let me get the drums involved. All right, here we go. Sorry. used to have some acoustic guitars in here, and I'm feeling better without them all of a sudden. Watch. Here they are. Okay, they're all the way through. Like as soon as I start playing guitar, they're there, and I think it was too much of a presence. And it was adding, you know, additional room tone because it was a live mic. Okay, let's do it with and without.
Are you ready for life? Are you ready for pain? Are you ready for love? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you
Sorry, that cut off. This is probably getting too long. This may be too long to do on camera because, you know, it just takes forever. But I'm onto some good stuff here. I got rid of that acoustic guitar. I've determined that I might go back and get the original drums back and not cut them off so low so that you get more. And what else have I determined? I mean, I can also retract these guitars. They sound a little gnarly, but it kind of fits. And I love red, so, you know, I don't know. Probably not. That's stupid. The original energy and drive is there. I just want to work on the tone, you know. So here, let's see what happened with this kind. I'll just kind of call this the final mix. Obviously, it's not the final mix, but you see where I'm headed. You see what I'm doing, and hopefully this helps you with your project because mastering mode is, you know, to me is where it's at with this Zoom. And also on these guitars, they were in track 6 and 7, the main electric guitars, and I'm panning them out even further to get more of that spread. And you can actually kind of feel it, hopefully, with these 2 speakers instead of just the 1. All right, so let me start it without the spread, and I'll start spreading it more as we play it. Like, let me go back to where it was. Okay, I had it at 50-50. I don't know if you'll be able to tell this or not. But let's just see what happens when I go more, like 75, left, right. Right now it's at 50-50. Okay, 50-50 is right. It brings it kind of back more to the middle. When it gets too far out, you start losing the middle drive. It just starts becoming a periphery drive. It's hard to explain what I mean. There's plenty of air and sound, but you miss that middle lane, that down the middle feel on the speakers. Okay, let me just run through and live mix this. It's in mastering, and here we go. One more time. that's the last bit of music available on that tune. Completely letting it, I'll fade on that sound. But I like what happened. The only thing that I'll do off camera is I'm going to go check those drums and see if I can make them sound fatter, because I rolled them off too much, obviously. The guitar doesn't sound as good as the new tracks because it was on my Squier with the ceramic pickups, and just the whole guitar is a lesser guitar, but this guitar is what got me into Stratocaster, so it's special to me. But it doesn't sound as good as a Lawler. It's also very noisy. You can always retract, but I think there's an energy there that I don't want to lose. And it sounds cool enough. It sounds cool. It's kind of ratty sounding. But the only thing I'm going to do is check those drums and see if I can get them fatter. The bass specifically, it's really what I'm worried about is the bass drum. And then I removed the acoustic track. I was putting that in because I used it on my last record. Because my last record's a lot more straight, like just basic chords, Everything was like... So if you have an acoustic guitar and you're playing that, it gives like this kind of harpy, magic, like percussive magic. And it worked great on that record. And so I was trying to carry that over to this one. And I realized there, it was just, sometimes you don't want to kitchen sink things. Too much sound is too much sound. All right, so the goal is to continue to work on this next song. I want to come back and start recording that like as soon as possible. I just got to get that third part. Meanwhile, going back to the original 5 songs that I have on the record, because the new one will be the 6th one. And I'm going to go for final mixes, like so that we don't waste the time. I don't want to just be sitting here in between tracks not doing anything. So this will keep me busy, get the record closer to being completed. It's one of the problems with DIY recording and doing this on yourself. There's no label waiting and asking, hey, what's going on? What's you writing? Or if you're in the studio, man, they're on you. So it's not like that anymore. I got to keep myself motivated, and you have to think of the way the label did it, where it's like they have a time, there's time to do it, and you get it done. You have a deadline. So I need to set a deadline for myself, and keep writing and just work towards getting these songs completed, not just in this sort of halfway state. So that's the goal. Get that record done, get it out. It'll be my second solo album where I play everything, and do everything by myself, which is really rewarding and fun. All right, so hopefully everybody out there is having a great time with their projects, and happy Halloween. All right, next time.